Clint Arthur is here, business expert, author of 21 Performance Secrets of Donald Trump, and what they teach you at Wharton Business School.
If this was going to be the last year of your life, what would you want to accomplish?
Let me introduce you to the man that taught me.
Leadership and performance expert
Clint Arthur, who made a living off of teaching other people to be better public speakers.
NASDAQ, what an honor to be with you here today.
business expert and best-selling author
Clint Arthur. Clint, take it.
Energy comes off as confidence. It helps if you entertain them, and you need them to be engaged if you want to be a great leader. The marketing of what you do is 100 times more important than what you actually do. Have them pay attention to you. If people would just play the speaking game when they talk, they would have more fun, make more money, conquer their fear of public speaking, and have more impact, influence, and income. Invest in yourself and in a mentor. Amen. Welcome, everybody, to this week's Celebrity Entrepreneur Mastermind. Continuing to have big weeks. Last week, we had Hal Elrod on Fox News on the Jesse Waters show, Waters World. And then we had Dr. Belfar on CBS St. Louis. And this week, we have another big week in the media for our graduates. And we're joined tonight by Dr. Kien Vu. Kien is a graduate of Celebrity Launchpad, I guess like 50, somewhere in there. It was during COVID. It was like July, August 2021 or 2022, one of those. Yeah, 2021. That's what it was. And today I saw Kien in the news. I saw his handsome face staring at me on an article, and I'm going to bring up that article so you all can see it because, you know, Kien has done quite a bit of stuff with us. Kien, I know you came to Celebrity Launchpad. I also think, did you come to Harvard also?
I did not come to Harvard, but I went to, I was
CNN Center,
and I was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
When we snuck in during the pandemic.
Yeah, CNN Center with Dr. Oz on Zoom video and Dr. Drew and the Surgeon General of the United States.
Yep.
And Evander Holyfield, 4-time heavyweight world champion. He was there, and that was a really fun event, and everybody had a great time. And, you know, this, you know, I don't know if everybody sees these kinds of articles. I read a lot of news. I'm aware of what's going on in the world. I try to keep abreast of what's trending and what's showing up in the news. And to me, Business Insider is a pretty big deal.
Oh,
yeah, to me, I think it's a pretty big deal. So here's this article that I saw on my iPhone. It came up in my Google News. You know how like you could go to the Google homepage and it shows a bunch of news articles. Do you do that? I do that like several times a day to see what's showing up on Google. And here's this article. You can boost your longevity with 7 habits that take 5 minutes or less a day, according to a doctor. Simple habits such as practicing gratitude for a few minutes each day can improve your physical health for a longer lifespan, Dr. Kien Vu says. So this article is based all on Dr. Kien Vu. It's all there. And what I wanted you to come on and talk about is I wanted you to talk about how going on TV has helped you to get big placements in media, and how speaking at our events and celebrity attachment, how all of this comes together to help you to get everything you want. One of the things I say is that you got to use everything you've got if you want to get everything you want. So yeah. I would imagine that you are. I know you went on Fox Los Angeles quite a few times after Celebrity Launchpad.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's funny looking back now and looking at your reel, Clint, and seeing everything that you said, and now just, going back memory lane, everything you talked about, how, the book, the speaking, the celebrities, it all slowly builds your brand. And you might not see it initially, particularly when you're starting. It's just little tiny pieces. But once they start coming together, the world starts to see you differently. The world starts to really give you credibility and authority, and it really opens up your world for everything else. Because once you reach a point, you really become the go-to expert for media outlets. Like you said, when it was Michelle that I met at at your events that worked for Fox, and out of that was like maybe 4 or 5 Good Day LA segments. And that steamrolled into other things. I'm wearing this jacket here. I don't know if the people watch Squid Game, but I was a contestant on Squid Game, the reality show on Netflix. And if you guys are reality TV type of people, I'll also be appearing on a episode of Vanderpump Rules in Bravo as well. It only goes to show that the more you work on your brand and work on everything that Clint actually talks about, having a book, being seen with celebrities, winning awards, doing more media, it's a slow build, but recognize that as you build momentum, you're going to end up being the go-to person. And, certainly that's opened up a lot of opportunities to do more speaking, get in more projects, increase my fees with the things that I'm working on. So I'll leave it there and see if you have any other questions that you might want to poke at.
Hey, you really summed it up. You hit all the points, and the results speak for themselves. And hey, man, going on Vanderpump Rules, that is awesome. And going on Squid Games, a reality series, that is awesome. These are things that people do to build celebrity. And the more you get, the more you get.
Yep, that's it. And go ahead and put in the link for the summit. So this is another reason why you might not think of the more you get, the more you get. So I'm putting together a mental health summit that goes on next week. It's called the Thrive State Summit. Clint will put on his link in the chat so that you guys can go to it. But if you take a look at the speakers, I have Vishen Lakhiani. I've got
Major
Dave
speakers,
Asprey.
man. I just went through the list myself. I was very, very impressed at who you've got
So
coming.
that's the other thing too, is once you start to build a brand, people that said no to me, and I've actually went to some of these people a couple years ago, and I've gotten some no's. But once you start to build a brand and authority, the people that will come and say yes to projects like this is possible. So if you take a look at this lineup, I was pretty proud myself, but I mean, it's only because of the constant, persistent work of building your brand and the work that you do, you start to get recognized, and other PR companies and other influencers and other thought leaders will start to say yes, and you get to be seen. Now I get to say, look, I've shared the stage with all these different people, and I actually has shared the physical stage with some of these people as well, but it just goes to show the power of being able to build a brand in whatever you are doing, because you're going to, people are going to be able to quiet down. First, a lot of people, when they meet you and they try to size you up, like, who is this person? Are they safe? But once they start seeing you with celebrities, once they start seeing you with people that they know, other thought leaders, in their brain, they're going, oh yeah, he is safe. Oh, and they are worth this much. And so, putting together a project like this is, I think, only possible from the slow build of building that brand a couple years ago, and has built momentum to where it's gone now. So, one, this is a pretty cool project. I interviewed 50 of the world's thought leaders in mental and emotional wellness. You guys could all register for free at the Thrive State Summit using the link that Clint has in his chat. So, yeah, check it out.
Yeah, click the link. It looks like a lot of great stuff for free from a lot of really great people. I mean, very, very impressive. And how long did it take you to put together this summit?
Jesus, that was a lot of work.
This looks like more than
I did
6
all
months
the
of
interviews
work.
myself.
Yeah.
And each interview was anywhere from half hour to an hour long, and there was 50 people there. And then there's the back end work too. So probably 100 hours of work at least.
Yeah. And how many months of advance work did it take to get to this point?
Probably almost a year of work.
Yeah. Congratulations on this.
Thank
Very,
you.
very impressive. And what do you think that the main thing people are going to get from attending this summit is going to be?
The main thing is really this, people probably don't recognize that there's a part of their brain and nervous system that's working. Or they might know, and they're like, you know what? I always want certain changes in my life, or I want more happiness, more joy, more this and more that. They want these things, but there's a part of their brain that's holding them back, not recognizing that so much of their awareness and nervous system is programmed before the age of 10. And unless you are aware of these things, you're probably running off of a fear and survival mode of your brain. And when people attend this, you'll start to recognize that part of your biology that's not you, and also learn techniques to tap into who you truly are so you could radiate and magnetize, particularly when you're on stage and on media, where you can show up as your authentic you, not this version of yourself telling you you're not enough.
Yeah, it looks so easy to just be yourself on TV or on video, on Zoom even, but it's not. It really takes a lot of work to be able to show up as you. If all you want to do is show up as you, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah. It's about remembering and forgetting all the BS stuff that was placed into you growing up. And this is what this summit is going to allow people to do, is just recognize, oh, wow, there's programming that I may or may not be aware of that might be resulting in, the results that I have in my health, my relationship, and my finances. So really important.
What is your number one piece of advice for people who want to get big media hits, who want to get connected with heavy hitter influencers like this? Like, how did TV and celebrity attachment help you to get guys like this on this summit? Because a lot of big names on here.
Yeah. So I was probably resistant to say this a couple years ago, but my advice would be to listen to Clint. I look at I look back now at all the things that you said and all the pieces that you need to start creating, yes, a celebrity brand, but really an authority brand. And once you have that, you know, you build that credibility in other people's eyes so that these projects start to open up, and so that other thought leaders in the space and all these heavy hitters start to see you not only as a celebrity but an authority in your space, you know, and that's super important. I'm good at what I do. I don't think I am the best, at, delivering longevity or know the science the hardest and things like that. What I think is so important is the way you be able to create a brand and market yourself usually outshines so many other people. And what I have to say about in the health space is there are a lot of people that are not credentialed who've been able to recognize the power of building a personal brand and marketing themselves, that are able to actually become one of these major hitters. And so that's something that I think is a very valuable skill to have.
This
And,
guy right here.
Clint has the framework to be able to do so. Yep.
This guy right here, for
Yep.
sure. You know, this guy right here, he's not credentialed. I know what he's talking about addictions. He's not credentialed in addictions other than the fact that he has, been recovering from his addictions for a long time. Uh, you know, Suzanne Summers, another great example of a person, no credentials whatsoever, became world famous, talking about cancer, talking about longevity, talking about hormones, talking about anti-aging, all of that stuff. Fame and celebrity positioning is really where it's at. If you would, I know you got to go soon. If you wouldn't mind talking just a few minutes about the difference between fame and celebrity and how you see that.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. Well, celebrity is really I almost sort of say is an energetic factor that, that pulls at the, I don't know, heartstrings of people. When you're viewed as a celebrity, all of a sudden, like, I don't know, it's like magic. I walk off a stage, people asking to take pictures of me, people asking for me to be on their podcast. And when you have a speaker fee, that are in the, that's very generous, and then your concierge fee is high, people are willing to say yes. There's an automatic, oh, this is raised up a level. If I had to say the difference between fame, yeah, you could be famous for maybe doing something that is infamous, and that you're known, and you might be well known in different areas, but it doesn't command the same amount of desire for an audience to say yes to what you have to offer. People want to take pictures with celebrities, not so much famous people that are not quite celebrity people.
And as far as your reality series appearance, like on the Vanderpump,
Yeah.
when does that one come out?
It's going to come out. So if you haven't seen it yet, they're launching the first episode, I believe, on January 30th. And I'll probably be mid to end season. I'll be coming in as a longevity expert, bringing in some tools to help out, one of the biggest stars on that show.
How did you get that?
They saw me on TV.
They saw you on Fox?
Well, they saw me on some media outlets. I mean, certainly once you start to build a brand, right? Your social media is going to have your TV appearances, so will your website. So I'm not quite sure what they saw, but they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're looking for somebody to be able to help this person on the show. Would you come on?" And it was a resounding yes, obviously.
Obviously, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that and on all your success. And again, I encourage everyone who wants to get ahead mentally to click on this link and register for Dr. Kien Vu's free summit. It's called the Thrive State Summit. You can attend free online February 1 to 4 to heal your brain, heal your life, rewire anxiety, trauma, stress, and overwhelm. Again, it's free. Just put in your name and email and get all the goodness that he worked so hard to do. Congratulations. I know it's a lot of work to put this together, and very proud of you and all your success. And thank you so much for joining us here on the webinar tonight.
You got it, brother. Thanks for having
right.
me, and thanks for all your support over the years.
All right. Kien Vu, great job. All right. He is going to pop off because I know he's got a hard out, but we are going to continue on. Oh, I see. Wow. I see Miranda Carlisle has straight hair today. I like straight hair. That I like.
I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I felt like I got it short enough, but then I was like, well, maybe I didn't go short enough. But yeah, it's straight today.
It's still not short enough. It's still it's still not short enough.
I got like 6 inches off.
Yeah, I know. Well,
might have been more.
yeah, I gave you the look. I encourage you to take the look. You don't deserve me doing a hair design for you, but I did it. So if I did it, you should use it. Really. It makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, my hair girl, I said, just take it like just under my shoulder. So she kind of did. I mean, it's a little bit longer.
See, the problem with your hair length right now is that that's exactly where a lapel microphone would go. And so your hair would be rubbing against the microphone and you'd be hearing this when you're having an interview. Do you hear that?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you would be hearing because of your hair. And that's
I keep one side back, maybe. Huh?
No, it's not going to work. Just do it. You're ready to go to a different level in your life. You're on this mastermind because you have a dream. You are on this mastermind because you want to break through in your life and go to a different place than where you've been. If you want to do that, then I gave you a whole new look that's going to help you to get to where you want to go. Just take it. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, I'll call my girl and say I need it shorter.
Yeah. It's just really easy. And you'll like it a lot. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a really great look for you. Really great.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you coming along with your story?
Good. I mean, I'm trying to kind of I'm modifying it a little bit, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, I feel like I mean, it's pretty much everything the way it happens. So I feel like it's going to be easy for me to do. I just need to make sure I don't miss some of the things that I want to make sure I say that you kind of, I feel like gives it more power, I should say. So yeah, I feel like it's, going good.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know that I have it completely memorized, but I've been working on it.
Okay. And how's your costume coming along?
That I'm still working on because I probably need to send you and Allie some photos of what I've got, but I've got this pink, like it's kind of like a bright pink one suit, like a
jumpsuit?
Yeah, it's kind of like a jumpsuit, but it's a pants suit, but it goes all the way up like from the top to bottom. It's like wearing a whole suit. It's pink. And then I thought having my lab coat over it, but my lab coat hasn't come yet. So I'm kind of stressing out about that because it hasn't come. But I do have another one. If that one doesn't work out, it just doesn't have my name on it.
Yeah. Well, call them up and get them to make sure that they deliver it. You need your costume.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I need to call them probably tomorrow because I haven't even gotten like email notification of when it's coming. And so, yeah, so I'm kind of
Don't just
stressing
let
that
it,
out.
don't just expect that everything's going to turn out right. In this day and age, a lot of things don't just turn out okay. A lot of things go wrong. A lot of things get dropped out in the cracks. A lot of things get misplaced or delayed, or, oh, sorry, we're out of stock. No one notified you. A lot of stuff happens like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you really have to be proactive about what really matters. And let me ask you this. When you are making a video, what do you think the most important thing in your video is?
Like a video for like your social media, or what do you
When
mean?
you are making a video for your marketing, and
Oh,
I should say all videos are marketing.
mhm.
All marketing should be video, and all videos are marketing. So what do you think is the most important thing in the video?
Presentation and eye contact, probably. I don't know. Being
How
real, like,
about how about costume?
oh, yeah. Okay. The way you look.
Costume is the most important thing in the video. Because what do you have in a video? You have a person and what the person is wearing. Unless it's a nude video, and that's not the video that we're making. Right?
Right.
Those are a whole separate category of video. That's not what we're making. We're making marketing videos. And in a marketing video, there's a person, an expert, an authority, an influencer, a celebrity, whatever you want to call them. And what is that person? What's the first thing anyone's going to look at about that person? It's what they're wearing. Now, you can have a costume that does nothing for you. And that has no theme. It's very interesting. When I was younger, I remember I would buy a necktie to go with a suit. And why would I buy the necktie? Because I liked it. And I remember I spent a lot of money on this one tie, and it had all kinds of like pleats on the tie. It was a pleated tie, and it had all these patterns on it. Today, I would never in a million years buy that tie. That's exactly the opposite of what I want from a tie. I want a tie that does not distract from me. I want a tie that does not draw attention to itself. I just want a tie that attracts the eye and then points up to my face. That's what I'm looking for with a piece of my costume. The rest of my costume should be nondescript. A blue suit. You've seen a million. You will see me in a blue suit. You've seen a million blue suits on a million successful executives. And that's exactly what I'm going to be wearing at the National Academy of Medicine and at the stock exchange and with Miss Mexico.
But you're suggesting that we don't wear blue, right? You're suggesting we wear a black coat according to the Mastermind videos.
A black coat? No. I've never said the word black in conjunction with a costume other than to say don't wear black.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah. I only recommend against black.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And we have a guy who came to one of our impact, influence, and income events in Acapulco, and he only wears black in all of his stuff. And I every time he makes a photo, a marketing picture, a marketing image, and posts it, I always like post an image, like a GIF image of a black hole, because he only wears black.
Well, that's good because my coat that I got was blue, so I'll relax about it.
Yeah, black is no good. Black is the opposite of good. Black is the opposite of color. There is no color in black. Look, people who don't understand celebrity or who don't care will wear black. But I will never wear black. I will only wear color because color attracts the eye. And most importantly, shiny color or neon color. So for example, here is Here's Clint and the Rolling Stones. You can't see it. Let's see. Here, let me do it a different way. Here's Clint and the Rolling Stones, the biggest rock and roll band in the world, plus Clint Arthur, who is 100% nobody. But who are you looking at in the picture? There you go. Boom. Who's the center of that picture? Who is standing out? Mick Jagger? Keith
The red.
Richards?
Red shirt.
Or Clint Arthur? Which one? Red shirt, right? Boom.
Mhm.
And you know, when we went to this thing, we paid a lot of money. Remember, I am the guy who drove a taxi in Los Angeles. I used to make $500 a week. That's how I survived for more than 6 years. So for me to be able to donate $25,000 to the Rolling Stones' favorite charity so that we could fly halfway around the world to be VIPs at their concert, to go to the VIP party and to hang out with the band before the concert and get this picture, that was an amazing thing for me to be able to do that. I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you that if you invest in your celebrity and if you understand the value of celebrity attachment and going on TV and speaking at very important places, the world will become your oyster and your life can transform to the point where you can make giant impact on the world, like donating $25,000 to a charity, which I never thought I'd be able to do, but I've done it more than once, which blows me away. But in any case, we go to the VIP party, and there used to be this documentary on Netflix called The Queen of Versailles. It was about this woman who was married to a rich guy who was in the timeshare business. And this woman wanted to build the biggest house in the United States. And she set out to do that. And it was happening right around the 2008 real estate collapse. Her house was nearing completion around the 2008 real estate collapse. And his whole timeshare empire started to crumble because of the real estate bubble that collapsed. And so they weren't able to finish their house. So we show up at the VIP party for the Rolling Stones concert in Arnhem, Netherlands. And I see this couple sitting at a table and they look American. So we walk over because all the rest of the people are these little short Dutch sailor types drinking beer and eating chocolate and getting loud and rowdy and smoking cigarettes. So we go over to this table where this American couple is seated. And I go, "Are you guys Americans?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, you must be the other couple who are going to meet the Rolling Stones." And I said, "Yeah, that's us." So we sit down with them at their table and I look at him. I'm like, "You know, you look really familiar." And he goes, "My name is so-and-so." And I go, "You look really familiar." And he goes, "Did you ever see The Queen of Versailles?" And I go, "That's it. You're the guy's son." And he was the son of the rich guy. He was like a supporting character in this documentary. And he was there with his wife, and he sells all the timeshares in Las Vegas. And he was there with his wife. And so we're talking, and the wife goes, "Wow, see, I told you we should have worn some cool clothes. Look how cool their clothes are." They were just wearing like regular clothes. But I knew we weren't going to be wearing clothes. Allie and I were going to be appearing in a photo that was going to be a iconic photo in our lives. Us and the Rolling Stones. We couldn't just wear regular clothes. We had to wear appropriate costumes. Appropriate costumes. Your costume should be appropriate for the event for the setting, for the venue. This costume was a rock and roll costume. I wanted to wear a leather jacket, but I didn't wear a black leather jacket. That's not a black leather jacket. It's silver. It's a silver leather jacket, shiny. It looks the way it looks because it's not black. It's silver, shiny. Allie's clothes are a little darker than I would have liked, but that's her costume. That's what she wanted to wear. And I said, Sir Mick, what's the most important thing you ever learned? He said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try, sometimes you find you get what you need. And I know it's just a line from a song, but hey, it's one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time. And he is the lead singer. So costume, look what it does for you. Changes everything. And it's, you know, that photo there is just a microcosm. Okay, look, this photo is just a microcosm. This is a marketing piece that I've been using for years. This photo was taken in 2017 or 2018. I think 2018. 2017, October 2017. We've been using it for years for marketing. I use it on the front of every magazine. You can't see it, but there it is. I use it on the front of every magazine. It's in my book. There's a long chapter great chapter in my book, Wisdom of the Men. If you haven't listened to Wisdom of the Men on Audible, totally worth it. This book is all celebrities. There I am with Ringo Starr, another great celebrity. This is all a whole entire celebrity attachment book. Truly my crowning achievement as a celebrity. I think I have two crowning achievements with celebrity attachment. My Pulitzer nominated book, Wisdom of the Men, and Carnegie Hall, The Living Legends of Entrepreneurial Marketing at Carnegie Hall, where we had Martha Stewart and Ice-T and Scorpion and the editor-in-chief of the National Enquirer and Michael Gerber and Hal Elrod and Princess Marianne Parker. And it was just an amazing event. That was peak New York, and we did so many great things at the parties that we did. Oh my God. And having Martha Stewart, you know, she was really, really, really like more famous than she is right now. But it's all about costume. Costume is your primary weapon as a celebrity. Especially for the things that we're doing in Mexico City. Think about Mexico City. People may or may not watch your video, but you're going to get photos. In fact, every single frame of your video is a potential marketing photo. You can just use the frame grabs out of your video as marketing photos. I do that a lot. In fact, the photos that I have of me with Buzz Aldrin, they're frame grabs. They're not actually photos.
Hey, Clint, couple other points on costume.
Yeah. See this? Okay, sure. See this picture right here? One more. I'll be happy to get back to that in a second. I just want you to see. This picture here is not a photo. It's a frame grab. We deliver videos in 4K HD. If you don't like any like some people are like, I don't like the photos you gave me. Hey, pull a frame out of your videos. Pull any frame you want. And then on top of that, you can zoom. Look at this. That's an in-action photo, a zoom. I know it's not sharp, 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 but you know what? Not everything has to be sharp, sharp, sharp. The emotion. That's what really matters. The emotion. That moment right there was one of the greatest achievements of my life, making that event happen. When the US Army told me to go fuck myself, I wasn't going to have this event. This event was not going to happen. and we beat the US Army. And we got Buzz Aldrin to show up and give a great talk about how nothing is impossible. All right, you had another question about costume?
No, it was actually a comment. I'm not as far along as Keen is with you, but since I got my costume, things become easier because you just put the costume on because you know what you're supposed to wear. There's no thought process to it. It becomes the Steve Jobs, the jeans and the black t-shirt. Like you just put it on, you become comfortable in it, so it becomes easy. That's number one. And two, that consistency that you talk about over events, over time, you don't realize it until you start to put together your magazine or your sizzle reel or those sorts of things, is that consistency of being in the costume makes you recognizable and makes you stand out more because it just looks the same. So, you know, what Clint's saying about the costume, it's really important. And yeah, I fought it in the beginning. I thought I had something, and then you get the consistency and everything else. And then you look back at your other photos, your other stuff, you go, oh man, I wish I had a. So follow his direction, get your costume, leverage the crap out of it, because it just makes life simpler. You don't have to think about that. You can focus on your speech. You can focus on the other elements that you need to put your brain power to other than your costume when you're not doing.
Amen to that. I mean, another one way before Steve Jobs was Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein liked to wear a Levi's leather jacket. Like, here's a picture of Albert Einstein. Let me see if I can pull it up. He had an actual costume. Albert Einstein. You know why? Because it just made it easier for him. There you go. That's what you were talking about, it being easier. Let me see if I can find this image of him in his leather jacket. I was reading about it the other day. I read all these things on the news because I want to stay abreast of what's going on. I'm not finding the image of him in the leather jacket. You see a lot of images of him in his crazy hair. You see a lot of images of him in suits, but I don't see the leather jacket that supposedly he would wear all the time, just because they talk about this issue of decision fatigue. People who have to make a lot of decisions. It's just one less decision. And I'll tell you what, now, what about my costume, right? What am I wearing? Well, this is my cool guy in Acapulco. This is actually my cool rich guy in Acapulco costume, blue V-neck t-shirt. I got a stack of them this high. And I was staying in the alley the other day, and I got I got jeans, these lucky jeans that I wear. I got 5 pairs of these same ones. They're blue-black. They're called topaz blue. And this shirt is called, I think it's called ultramarine blue. I think that's the color. Now, this is a blue shirt. You could see this is blue. Every morning, I reach in my closet and I just take the one off the top of the stack and I pull on a pair of my blue-black jeans, and that's it. It's just done. Now, I wear this when I travel. I wear this when I am home. I wear this around Acapulco because I try to be low-key. This is my low-key, cool, rich guy coach costume. That's what this is. You'll see a lot of coaches in a black t-shirt. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Decision fatigue. Now, here's another one. Here's a different image. This is me and Ringo Starr. And notice I'm wearing a suit and tie, my pink tie, white shirt, and a suit. Why am I wearing this? Why does this one work? Because this is in Vegas. This is a different environment than a rock and roll concert in Europe, in Arnhem, Netherlands. You know, I don't know that I would have looked like, I don't know that it would have turned out as good in the Rolling Stones photo if I was wearing this costume. I'm sure it would have looked good, but the fact that this is in Vegas, and you know what else is very interesting? Ringo is wearing a blazer.
That's what I was going to say.
He's wearing a jacket too.
Yeah.
And none of those guys were wearing a jacket in the Rolling Stones. They were dressed like rock and rollers. But Vegas is more of a dressy place, and that's why this costume worked out so good. I'm really pleased with the way this one worked, and you know, it shows you that you can hardly ever go wrong by overdressing. You can hardly ever go wrong by overdressing. My wearing the silver leather jacket and the red shirt was kind of a risk for the Rolling Stones photo, but it turned out to be the right move because I'm the center of that photo. And it's all about the picture. You may or may not get a great video based on your performance, but it doesn't matter. As long as you got the video with all of the 4K HD photos in it, the frames, it's almost better not to show people the video. It's better for them to let their imaginations run wild and think about what might have happened, what could have happened. What did Clint do with Ringo Starr in this situation? What was that like? What did he say? I said to Ringo, "Sir Ringo, what's the most important thing you ever learned?" He said, "I get high with a little help from my friends." And that's a line from another great rock and roll song. And by the way, when you listen to the Beatles music, you will be amazed. Next time you listen, it's not only going to be John Lennon or Paul McCartney as the lead singer. Ringo was the lead singer of many, many, many Beatles hits. Many, 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 many Beatles hits. I just want to bring that up for a second. Let's just see. Ringo Starr, lead singer, Beatles songs. Let's see what comes up. With a little help from my friends from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Yellow Submarine, he's the lead singer. Octopus's Garden, he's the lead singer. He sang a lot of great songs. And if you ever have a chance to go see his concert, Ringo Starr and his all-star band, totally fun, amazing concert and worth it. But you don't know what happened with me and Ringo in this photo. And that's one of the reasons why it's so powerful. You don't know what happened with me and the Rolling Stones. And that's why the photo is so powerful. And another thing that you don't know is you don't know what happened with me and Ali and how we ended up in Moscow in Red Square for this photo. See, you don't know what that was like. Although I will say, this was part of the whole Rolling Stones adventure. And if you ask Ali, what was the best part of the Rolling Stones adventure? It was going to Moscow. We had a great time. We had an amazing time. We had an amazing time doing something we never, ever expected to do. And this, my friends, is one of the great things about celebrity entrepreneurship and embracing the philosophy that you're going to be a celebrity in the eyes of clients and prospects, and you're going to do stuff. You're going to go on what I call celebrity safaris. A celebrity safari is when you get on a plane and go someplace to go meet a celebrity. That's exactly what we did with the Rolling Stones. We got on a plane, flew halfway around the world, paid a fortune of money, ended up staying in a bunch of amazing hotels, going to a bunch of amazing dinners. That was our first time when we went to see the Rolling Stones in Europe. That was our first time going to the Royal Opera House, where we saw the Magic Flute. That was my first time seeing the Magic Flute Opera at the Royal Opera House as part of this whole thing. Because what is this dream all about? What is your dream all about? I told you, you show up on these masterminds because you have a dream. Hopefully you have the courage to admit to yourself what that dream is. And I think if you do have the courage, it's about living a fuller life. It's about living your life more to the fullest. It's about doing more and being more and having more. And what happens when you take on that philosophy of life that you want to do more, be more, and have more, you end up doing more. Because in order to have more, you got to do more. In order to be more, you got to do more. You want to be more, you got to do more. You want to have more, you got to do more. The more you do, the more you will be, and the more you will have. That's why I've got so many things on my CPR. Because I know if I want to be more, I have to do more, and then I will have more. I'm the guy who arranged for us to not only go to meet the Rolling Stones and hang out with them, but also to go to Red Square on our way home. I made that happen. I had to get the visas. I had to get a new passport because it was going to expire. I had to arrange the hotels. We stayed in the best hotel in Moscow, right across from Red Square. We ate in the best restaurant in Moscow because I had made the reservation. We ate beluga caviar in Moscow because I ordered it. I paid for it. I'm the guy who did that. And I took this selfie. I'm the guy who did all of that, has all of that, has this. And nobody can ever take this away. And that is what this is all about. Doing stuff that makes you who you want to be, and no one can ever take it away. That's what this is all about. And part of it's going to be the costumes. You got to look the part, and you got to be the part, and you got to do the part. Well, I mean, look at Dave Nassani. Dave Nassani got on a plane and flew to London to speak at the London Stock Exchange. Dave, are you on this webinar, or are you just having Fireflies take notes for you?
I don't own Fireflies.
Good. I don't like seeing these Fireflies on here. I think it's, it's like, who's going to read the Fireflies? I guess. Tell them what it was like for you to come and speak at the London Stock Exchange. What did you do?
I hopped on a plane for 11 hours, not
Was
knowing if I
was
would
that
be
during
stopped at
COVID?
the airport.
Was that
during COVID?
That was during COVID.
Everyone told me I was crazy, and they're not going to let you on. They're going to stop you at the airport. I got my COVID test and I gave it to them, and I think, according to their rules, it wasn't even eligible because you got to take it so many hours before your flight, and I didn't. I did the best I could and hoped that they wouldn't notice. And the guy looked at it and stamped it. Go on. And then when I got to England, I didn't know if they were going to let me off the plane. When I got to my hotel, I didn't know if they were going to quarantine me there.
You were supposed to quarantine for 5 days.
Right. And some people were telling me that's all BS. Don't listen to it. It's fine. And other people were telling me, no, man, you're going to be stuck out there. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to leave your wife alone.
What did Clint tell you?
You know what Clint told me. He said everything was going to be all right. Just do it. Because you did it first. And you were there waiting for us, I think.
Yeah, I was there first.
So I don't think you've ever lied to me yet. So it was cool. And then when I got there, I'm in the cab going to the hotel, and I started asking the cabbie, I said, man, are they going to keep calling my room? And if I don't answer, they're going to send, Gestapo to say, where are you? Where did you go? And he started laughing at me. He says, who told you that? He says, they don't care. It's just all propaganda and BS because, whatever political reasons they want to do, they want to be in control. They want to control you. And all they can use to control you is fear, right? Fear is the enemy. Is that what Churchill said?
Yeah.
So when I got there, I went in my room, unpacked, and I immediately left, went across the street for a nice pizza, and looked at the sites. When I got back, I says, "Any calls?" They said, "No, sir." But it was the most
Next
exciting
day,
trip. It was the most
next
exciting
day,
trip of my life, by the way.
it was the most exciting trip of your life.
Yeah, and I was alone, and I was only there for two days.
The next day, you came and spoke at the stock exchange, and
The
then
London Stock
go
Exchange
straight
interviewed
to the
Nigel
airport.
Farage. What?
Did you go straight to the airport?
No, I spent another night.
Spend another night.
Why not? It was a 3-day thing, counting the planes, but it would have been too rough. And I says, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I might as well go for broke. But not
Why?
many people have the balls to do that. They live their life in fear. I wasn't living my life in fear through COVID. I didn't get the vaccine. I didn't want it. And because I knew everybody was lying about a lot of different things. And so I was just trusting my gut, and I was trusting you.
Why was it the most exciting trip of your life?
Because I've never done that before. That's my Moscow Red Square trip. I never went to London before. I've gone, to different countries in Europe with my wife, but this was, I know the adrenaline was pumping, and it was an adventure. I was like on an African safari with a elephant gun, not knowing what was gonna, come out of the brush, ready to shoot.
Well, it was a safari. It was a celebrity safari because Nigel Farage was there.
And he's such a nice guy, genuine, down to earth. I never met a celebrity like him before. And you know what? He's going to be the Prime Minister of England one day. And I will have a picture and an interview of him telling me that he owns crypto and I should own crypto. And I said, I do. He says, you're smart.
If only. I hope and pray every day that
if Trump can make it, he can make it. That's all I can say.
But having that celebrity experience transforms everything.
Well, it's given me a new level of courage, that's for sure. It's given me a new level of excitement and my zest for living. And I mean, you've taken us on a lot of safaris in Hawaii, in the ocean with sharks. Yep. I mean, you've put us through so much. I won't even tell you the one thing you put me through, but in Las Vegas. But yep. You put us through so much that what could possibly scare us? We've been through hell and back, and we've been through heaven and back.
Yep. And that's the kind of stuff that nobody can ever take away from you.
They can't take that away from you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now I sound like Maggie.
I know you have a big TV hit coming up soon on a big nationally syndicated show. And you shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't talk about it in advance. But when is that supposed to happen?
She's going to New York to Thursday, which is in 2 days. And we will know after Thursday what gets selected from the video that I sent of Charlene and I.
Yep.
But the positive thing is that, she saw us, she saw some videos of us on this lady's website that gave me an award. And she picked me out and she said, I want him. And she picked out 2 other people and I want them and I want them. And so she said, send a 5-minute video of you and Charlene together. Number 1, talk about the award giver and how great she is. So I spent a couple of minutes doing that, and then tell me your story. And so the next 3 minutes, I told the best story version that I have of both of us.
You should also send them your documentary,
the edited version. Yes.
Yep, the short version.
Well, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Like now, before.
Yeah. By the way, you didn't ask for it, but I don't know if you're aware that there was a documentary about us. It's there's some great stuff in there.
Your brain's always thinking, Clint.
Well, like I said at the beginning of this mastermind, you must use everything you've got to get everything you want. So you've got a documentary, so use it. You got a good version that you cut.
Yep.
And you should use it. Definitely.
I'll do it tonight.
Yeah, man. And
Thanks.
look, what are the
Well, I'm
speaking
glad I
events
came on this call, huh?
every time, right? What are
Right.
the speaking events that you've come to, Dave? Which speaking events? London Stock Exchange, what else?
God, all of them. I don't know. I just turned 70, by the way, so my brain isn't as quick as it used to be.
Happy
But
birthday.
I do. I've been to Thank you. I've been to NASDAQ. I've been to Harvard 3 times. I've been to a celebrity launchpad twice. I've been on 56 TV, 55 TV broadcasts.
Did
Just
you
want to
come
be.
to CNN?
Yes, I was at CNN. I
Okay.
was in West Point. Went to Coca-Cola. Went to Mercedes-Benz.
Yep.
Went to the New York Harvard Club twice. Did my 5-minute comedy set there. That was crossed that off my bucket list. You
Yep.
guys laughed. That made it even better. What else did I do?
How
God.
has the speaking played into all of this? Because everybody's like, I want TV, I want TV, I want TV. You've done 50 plus TV appearances, but you've also done a lot of these speaking events. And how has that played in to making you who you are today?
It's all the package. I mean, speaking is one part. Being on TV is another part. Being able to go on amazing vacations is another part. Hanging out with celebrities, that's another part. It's all a jigsaw package. And if you're missing one of them, you're not as good as the guy who's got all of them.
Yeah. Carnegie Hall too.
Carnegie Hall, yes. There's so many, I can't remember them. I mean, you know what they are more than I do.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy Carter. But he
Oh.
he hit his head with a hammer, and so he couldn't make it. But I did get a picture of Rosalind, and that's only
Rosalind.
because I didn't go to the first Jimmy Carter. I shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Yep.
But some of these opportunities only. I said I'll go to the next one, but you
Have
know
you
what?
been
There
to
wasn't
Joel
a next.
Osteen?
Not yet. Not yet.
It's coming up in June.
On my
Joel
list.
Osteen, June. I don't remember the June 7, 8, 9, I believe. We're doing another event with Joel Osteen. Fantastic events. Fantastic events.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, all right. You're right, Dave. It is a jigsaw puzzle and it all fits together. And, these are the things that real celebrities do. And that's why we do them too, because we're not famous, but we are celebrity entrepreneurs. And I take my motivation and my guidance from my mentor, Oprah Winfrey, who said, you are responsible for your own success. That's why I let nothing pass me by, because I know I need to do it all if I want to get it all. That's why I miss nothing. And I make these events happen and I go for it because I want it. And I don't want to miss anything. And I want to get everything I can get while I can get it.
And you know what I miss? I miss swimming in the ocean with Clint Arthur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah. Well, next Acapulco events are in March 6 through 11. We have like 2 more spaces for impact, influence, and income. Then in April, Ali has Share Your Gifts, and there's a celebrity launch pad here in April. For those of you who are smart, you should be enrolling for those. Shoot me a text, 212. Here's my cell. I'm sure your other mentors all put their cell phones in the chat. I'm sure Craig puts his in the chat, right?
Never.
Cell phone? No?
We have his cell number, but he doesn't usually answer it.
Yeah. Well, I put mine in the chat because I want to hear from you guys. Text me if you guys want to be part of this other stuff. Otherwise, we've got Mexico City happening, and it's going to be better than I ever imagined it was going to be. We have made all the final details, and the training is going to be amazing. All the dinners are going to be amazing. The lunches are going to be amazing. Miss Mexico is going to be the best Miss Mexico. The awards are going to be fantastic. We have a theater for the awards. It's going to be really first class. And everybody who shows up is going to get amazing assets that are going to help you to distinguish yourself from the next guy who thinks they're somebody because they've got 10,000 followers on Instagram or 50,000 TikTok connections or whatever the hell they've got. All of that pales in comparison to the stuff we're going to make for you if you just show up. Just show up.
And there was another trip that I just jumped on a plane at the last minute in December and my wife was upset because it's Christmas month, you know. But it was the bonus of another event that I had with you. I got to hang out with two Miss Mexicos in your beautiful place there, and I got to interview both of them for my radio show. So I mean, that was a win-win-win.
These Miss Mexicos. I mean, you know, people don't understand this Miss Mexico. Talk to them. Talk briefly about how cool these Miss Mexicos are.
They are so cool. They're cooler than Americans, that's for sure. They've got cute little accents. They've got cute little bodies, and they had their bikinis on, and we're all hanging out at the pool. And when I asked her certain questions about caregiving on my radio interview, I was blown away at how knowledgeable they are. They're like a walking encyclopedia. This one was very, very knowledgeable about caregiving. Another one was knowledgeable about care facilities and stuff like that. I mean, I guess you got to study and be smart if you're going to be Miss Mexico, because they ask you a lot of tough questions about world events, and it just changed my whole opinion about, you know, those type of shows and awards. Because some people, you know, don't like them. They say they're, you know, they're just contests for bimbos, you know, but not true.
It's not true. I was reading about the most recent Miss America. She's an Air Force Academy graduate. She's a combat veteran. She's a lawyer. You know, it's like a lot of these, I'm telling you, a lot of these beauty contests, you know, they're ostensibly a beauty contest, but it's so much more. You know what these contests are about? Confidence.
Yep.
And the one last thing I want you to talk about, Dave, on a scale of 1 to 10, what was your confidence when I met you? And what is your confidence today?
Well, the only stage, quote unquote, that I spoke on was Toastmasters. You know, you go on a little stage in a little room with about a dozen people, and they all applaud you and tell you all the stuff you did great, and then tell you one little thing that you can improve upon, you know. But it's not the same thing when I was standing on the stage at Harvard at the faculty club, and I was sitting before lawyers and doctors and entrepreneurs, and I had to stand there and do my speech. And you remember, I freaked out the night before. I knew my speech, but I was over practicing it, and I was forgetting my lines, and I was freaking out. I said, I can't do this. I'll tell them I'll do the next one. You know, I called you up and says, no, Dave, trust God, because that's what you always tell me. You're going to do it. Just go to bed, stop practicing. You know this stuff. And so I went to bed. I just did what Clint said. And I woke up the next morning. It was all in my memory, intact. And I knocked it out of the park. And then you got up there and told us about Celebrity Launchpad. And I just knew that that was the next step for me. And I haven't been able to stop, you know.
So what was your level of confidence before you met me? And then what is it today on a scale of 1 to 10?
Sorry, I didn't answer the question. I'd say my confidence on a stage was maybe 3, and I'm being generous. And now it's 10. I can speak anywhere, anytime, about anything to anybody. Just
that's the goal.
Put a mic in my hand and I'll speak directly into the mic, you know.
That is the goal, my friends.
Yeah.
That's really the goal of these things, is so that you can become a master communicator, able to speak to anyone, anywhere, anytime about anything. And, you know, you think you can do it, but only after you've done it all over the world with me and Allie, do you really know that you can do it. Because theory is great, but I don't deal in theory. I only deal in practical reality. Everything I do comes from firsthand knowledge, no theory, only reality.
Yeah. And, you know, those aren't my words about me going from a 3 to a 10, because you coached me in Hawaii. You couldn't make a one of Craig's events and promote Celebrity Launchpad. Or no, it was Harvard. You couldn't make the event at Craig's, but I was going. He says, Dave, I can't go. Allie was going to go, but I need her here. I'm going to teach you what to do. And I said, you're going to do what? Yeah, I want you to go on the stage, speak to 500 people. I want you to sell Harvard. I'm going to lower the price to $5,000, make it easy for you. And I'm going to tell you what to say. I'm going to create your PowerPoint for you. and I'm going to help you practice it over and over and over again until you get it right. And I was terrified when you first said all that. But then as I saw the story, oh, wait, I know this story. This is my story. Oh, the pictures come up. Oh, yeah, I can remember the next line when I look at the picture. So I got up there and Craig introduced me, and I talked for 45 minutes, confident. Everybody's jaws, were open because they knew Dave, Mobile Dave, but this was, out of the park Dave, Celebrity Launchpad Dave. And so I made a call to action at the end, and 8 people signed up and handed over $5,000 to me. And that has never happened in my entire life. Then you did it again. The next time I went, and Craig got a little nervous because he says, you're taking too much money out of the room. You can't do that. There's other people here selling stuff. You can't sell from the stage. All you can do is tell them, I'll be in the back table. Just meet me back there. So he had my hands and my legs tied, but I did the same thing. And he only gave me 30 minutes this time. And I sold another 7. So that's 15. Handed over $5,000. And so that really boosted my confidence to be able to sell.
Let me just tell you this, okay? It should boost your confidence because Lisa Sasevich, I invited her to come to Harvard to sell. I said, Lisa, I want you to come and sell your Speak to Sell boot camp. And she goes, okay, well, I'm going to need 90 minutes. And I go, Lisa, come on. At Harvard, everybody gets 5 minutes. The most I could possibly do is I could give you 15 or 20 minutes at the lunch. And she goes, well, Clint, I could not possibly sell $1,000 ticket in less than 75 minutes. Lisa Sasevich, the queen of sales conversion.
No sales conversion.
I'm telling you, the best of them all. It takes them, they can sell their $13,000 programs after they've had you for 4 days. But they can't sell $5,000 sale in 30 minutes, Dave. They can't do that. Yeah. Nobody can do that. I'm the only one who can do that.
These people knew me. They knew who I was. So you said you're the perfect guy for the job. And I mean, the last time you were there, you only sold 2 or 3, I think. So I even beat you because it was a warm market. And there's nothing that substitutes a warm market.
The last time I was there were 52 people in the room and you had 500. So I get it. You did beat me. Okay. However, look, this
so we
is
both got 10%, right?
Dave, this is not a competition between me and you. This is a competition between us and the rest of the world. All the people who think that they're somebody, but they're not celebrity entrepreneurs and they don't have the power and they cannot sell a $5,000 ticket in 30 minutes. They can't do it. They cannot do it. Nobody can do that. Only we can do that. Yeah. And that's what I want for everybody here, to be able to do that.
Yeah. All I did was do what you told me to do. A monkey can do that. You just gotta be obedient. Yeah.
You want to do that, do what I say. And what I say is be a celebrity entrepreneur. Go on TV, speak on very important places, hang out with major celebrities, get photos, videos, and stories with those celebrities, win awards, be a best-selling author. If you're missing any of those things, you're gonna fall short. And also, then the icing on top of the cake is to have celebrity lifestyle marketing assets, the photos of you at my villa in Acapulco, living the great life, or traveling around with me in Mexico City or in Houston or in New York City. Wherever we go to do this stuff, you need to be there showing up and doing the stuff with me, because you can't do better than what you're going to get with me and Allie. It's always going to be a cut above the level of celebrity.
You are the real deal. I mean, you really care. You really love us. You would do anything for us to make us successful. And I've had other mentors. I won't mention any names, but it's all about the dollars. If you run out of money, sayonara.
Yep. And on that note, remember, we love you and we want you to be successful. Good night, everybody.
Good night.